My name is Jamie McKenzie. I'm doing the honors psychology program here, and my research is on flow trait and willpower theories. Flow, flow state is observed a lot in sports, and it's described as being in the zone. It's like the sense of having a heightened awareness and a heightened sense of control, lose sense of time a little bit, and so you act very reflexively in sports, and it's observed in a lot of other areas as well, including music, video games, writing. It's typically it has to do with something that you need a certain level of skill or like a decent level of skill to do, and then having a challenge that you're trying to overcome in that skill. Flow trait is the ability to get into flow state. It's something that you can, or theoretically you can develop and become better at. And if you increase your flow trait, they're more able to get into flow state across different dimensions, not just the things that you're really skilled in. So,
How did you find out about it?
so it's something that I do martial arts, and so it's a conversation we have in martial arts, and we talk about like getting into flow state when you're doing your forms or when you're like sparring, grappling, whatever it is that we're doing. It's also something I did a literature review on in at least one of my classes over the last 4 years. So uh, from that, I've kind of developed an interest in it a bit more and just started to work more into that. And this is my opportunity to really research it and get a better understanding of it. So some of the questions that came up when we gave our presentations in class gave me an idea just to look more into the development of flow and the development of flow trait. So um, like a potential further research for that would be um, like trying to trace flow primarily in like adolescence and in people who are starting to do an activity and seeing how that develops, how long it takes before they can consistently get into a flow state, and then whether or not getting into flow state consistently affects whether or not affects their level of flow trait. So, I'm doing for the research is I'm doing in-person data collection as well as online data collection. So the in-person stuff will be right after somebody has finished a training session with their given sport. Um, and then the online one is I'm asking them to recall a memory and then report their flow state on that memory. So one thing that might be a problem is the reporting, like just recalling a memory and then reporting on the memory could skew things a little bit. I'm not entirely sure yet, so it's something that I'll be looking at closely when it comes to analyzing the data. So the online participants are just coming through our introductory to psych students. So it's through the SONA system. Um, and I'm looking at about 150 people for that study. And then the in-person one, I'm trying to get about 80 people. We'll see how many I get, but I'm collecting data from my martial arts gym, the gymnastics gym that my supervisor goes to, and then a rock climbing gym in the area as well. So I'm hoping the first two of those, I'm hoping to get probably like 20 to 30 each, and then hoping to fill in the gaps in with the climbing gym. So I would say for when it comes to leadership, just recognizing that I can I can kind of take ownership of this kind of work by myself. I am a student, and being supervised by somebody gives you a lot of confidence that you can go ahead and do something. So even though, I have Zoe supervising me, I'm taking the lead on getting things done. I'm the one talking to these facilities, whether or not I can collect data from them, and really taking the lead on what do the surveys look like, what does collecting data look like, who do we want to collect data from. So I think that's been pretty interesting in the research project, just like getting to make all those decisions myself. And then, you kind of define the parameters of your study and really figure out what you're going to research based on that. Like the more I look into it, the more questions I have, and the more I could look into it. Right? We kind of developed this the survey that we're doing just kept on adding on these other things that were like, well, this would be cool to add on too, and this would also be cool, and then whittled it back a little bit. And so I've gone through ethics now, so I've got the final version of the survey. But yeah, there was more stuff that we kept on thinking we could add on to just as an exploratory measure, just like, hey, this is interesting. Let's see what comes out of it. So.